Okay, everybody, I want to show you how to make your own chicken stock. So chicken stock to me is one of those super easy things to make. It's totally worth the effort. You just need a little time. So choose a day when you're kind of going to be around the house for a little bit and then get your stock going. So during the month, I would say we eat chicken with the bone in. So like I make 2 or 3 roasted chickens during the month. I'll use bone in chicken. And after we eat that, or I've shredded the chicken off, I put those bones into a Ziploc bag and store it in the freezer. And once I have 1 or 2 big Ziploc bags full of bones that are frozen, I pull it out. It doesn't look very pretty, but it's gonna make awesome stock. I also add to this bag, like if I'm shredding a carrot and I have some leftover shredded carrot, or if I'm peeling it and I have the peels or ends of celery, I stick those right in this bag and then I'm ready to make my stock. So I take this bag of stuff, I'm gonna toss it into a pot. Doesn't look pretty, but it's gonna be awesome. And so my pot is filled with this big lumpy stuff. Now I wanna add a few more veggies in there. I have an onion that I didn't even take the skin off. I just cut it into 8 pieces and I'm gonna toss that in. I have celery ends. I had a couple sticks of celery that are gonna go in there. I have some carrots, did not even peel them, didn't trim the ends. I'm just gonna do a rough chop and a rough cut and stick them in. I even have, I have a half a head of garlic. I don't really want a whole head because it gets too garlicky, but I just cut it in half this way. And I'm gonna pop that in there. If you have some parsley or rosemary, just stick it all in. Anything you have can kind of go in here. The flavors that you put in there will impart into the stock. So I want those vegetables that are kind of mellow in flavor to infuse my stock. If you want it to be more garlicky, add more garlic. If you want it to be more oniony, add more onion. I also like peppercorns in mine, so I always add about maybe 15 peppercorns. And I don't add any salt, and the reason is this. Those, the chicken dishes that I made, that I'm using the bones of, already had salt on them. Like I salted those, right? So I don't want to add salt to this. I'm going to let that salt be enough. And then, you know, when I go to use my stock in gravies or sauces or soups, I can add salt then. So I love this because I get to control what goes into my stock. So after you have a pot filled with stuff, if you even have white wine, add it. It makes it really yummy, but I don't have any today. So, I used it all. So you want to cover all of this stuff with water. You want the water to cover over the top of your chicken bones and your veggies, and you're going to bring that to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer for 2 hours. And you're going to have all of this stuff in there and it's going to smell so good. After 2 hours, let it cool for about 15-20 minutes, and then you're going to pour it through a strainer into a bowl. And after that, you'll have this beautiful liquid, this really hot liquid in your bowl. Take that bowl, cover it with saran wrap, and stick it in the fridge overnight. Now, this is a step that I like because what it does is it lets the fat kind of come to the surface, and then it's really easy to scrape that fat off and throw it away, okay? So if you choose to skip that, just know that your stock might have a little fat in it. But if you do this step, you will get your bowl out of the fridge the next day. Take off your saran wrap, and I'm gonna move the phone here so you can see. You have this congealed fat on the top, and I'm gonna take that and scrape it into a bowl and then throw it away, okay? So actually, I like to use a slotted spoon. I'm gonna pull all that fat out, put it into a bowl, and then I'll just toss that out. And that leaves me with this gorgeous, kind of gorgeous gold stock. So this probably made 3 quarts, maybe 4 quarts. What I will do is I fill these containers with stock, and then I freeze them. And these are quart containers. I just got them at Cash and Carry. I write on the top what it is, stick them in the freezer. I usually leave about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of head space so that the lid doesn't pop off when everything gets frozen and kind of expands. But when you want to use it, you just run it under some warm water, squeeze it into your soup pot or whatever you're using, and it will just thaw out. And I love this because I always have some on hand. I made it, so I know what's in it. Great use of my time, great use of resources. I also like to, let's say I have enough for 2 quarts and I have a little left over. I pour the leftover into ice cube trays, freeze those, and then I pop them out and I fill a Ziploc baggie, you can't see very well, but of little ice cube sized chicken stocks. I don't know if you've ever come to a recipe that says put a 1/4 cup of chicken stock in it. And you're like, I have to open a whole quart to get a 1/4 cup? I hate that. So that's what I do. I have these, I can just pop them into my dish and I'm all set. So this is a great time saver. It's a money saver. It's a great use of resources. So make your chicken stock. Let me know how it goes. Also, chicken stock, you might be wondering if chicken stock can be used interchangeably with chicken broth. Yes. Chicken stock to me is actually more tasty. So yes, you can use it in the same recipes. And anyways, let me know how it goes. Hope this was helpful. Okay, bye-bye.